Fair use, fair use, fair use. First, I want to give all praises, honor, glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles, Elder Bishop the Great Millstone, who rule well. Peace and blessings to you fellow brothers pushing out this word in truth and sincerity. Coming back with another lesson through the spirit and power, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rachak Wadash. All right, shalom, shalom to all the believers out there, okay? I'm going to name this one, unless it changes, the Serpent at Work, or the Serpent is at Work. Okay, who is a serpent? We know in the garden, when you go in the book of Genesis, it talks about the serpent that beguiled Eve. Now, it's not actually talking about an actual serpent, but a serpent-like individual. Okay, the characteristics would be serpent-like, deceptive, okay, deceiving, subtle. Okay, in the scriptures, the Bible, equates different types of people to, certain type of animals, like lion-like, scorpions, sheep, doves. Okay, these are the characteristics. Like you call somebody a dog, it's like a dog-like person with dog characteristics. You call somebody a snake. Oh yeah, he snaked me out of this, out of this deal. Okay, so who is this speaking about? Speaking about no other than the so-called white man. Okay, the self-proclaimed hunk of the earth, the self-proclaimed highest IQ person on the planet Earth. Through his power, through his strength, he has, gained the power of the earth. When we know it's actually the Lord gave him that power, and we're getting ready to see Yahweh Shema Shai strip him of this power. Now, here's this video. This is from Jason A. I wanted to play a little bit of this. We're not going to make this long. I'm going to speed it up. Of course, what's it called? Fair use, like I said earlier. And this video is probably AI, but AI has gotten so good, that you can you can't really tell. But this is the serpent at work, and you're going to see he's justifying going to war with the tribes, in this case, Nigeria. He's justifying it through, through so-called peace. Okay, he wants to establish peace on the earth, but he's actually coming with war, and the excuse is so-called Christian. So he's hiding under the so-called the so-called banner of being a Christian, being a follower of who they call Christ, which is all about love, right? Well, just hear what he says. They speak about love, but really what's in their heart is war. So let's play a little bit of this video, and we're gonna hit a couple of scriptures.
Christianity is facing an existential threat in Nigeria.
See that's a buzz term, Christianity. But what Christianity are they talking about? Okay, which Christianity is a man-made religion. Okay, the modern Christianity that the whole entire world is following after, okay, has been given to you by your enemy. Okay, plantation Christianity, Renaissance Christianity. It's Esau's interpretation on the scriptures, which subtly he's coming to you, with peace, but he's subduing your mind, okay, through false philosophy, okay?
Thousands and thousands of Christians are being killed. Radical Islamists are responsible for this mass slaughter. I am hereby making Nigeria a country of particular concern. That's a legal...
Why Nigeria?
...definition. When the Christians or any such group is slaughtered, like is happening in Nigeria, 3,100 versus 4,476 worldwide. What horrible numbers. Something has to be done. I am asking Congressman Riley Moore, together with Chairman Tom Cole and the House Appropriations Committee, to immediately look into this matter and to report back to me. And I mean, like, immediately.
And again, this is probably AI, okay?
States cannot stand by while such atrocities are happening in Nigeria and numerous other countries. It's not only Nigeria, it's all over. We stand ready, willing, and able to save our great Christian population around the world. This is not...
So how are they going to so-called save the great Christian population? Well, they're going to bring war. And just as Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of War, okay, of America, they said that they're going to win any war that they choose or any war that comes to them. So the devil, the serpent, He's at work. He's moving. Okay, he's losing power. He's losing control. And through his deceptive fork-like tongue, he's getting ready to wage war on the whole world, in particular the tribes. Okay, this is why he's going after you so-called Black, Hispanic, Native Americans. Okay, Jacob's trouble.
Going to happen. The killing of Christians is not going to happen.
President Trump tonight is threatening to take action against Nigeria.
But you have a so-called jinn to the side out there in our land, okay, against those Arabs, which some of our people are within the mix of that too, that are scattered amongst them. But that's not a jinn to the side. They're not stopping that. They're actually funding that. So you can see how this damn devil is hypocritical, but that is the characteristic of a serpent. I want to go to Psalms 55, and then I want to go into Google and I'm gonna ask them what is a freak off. People around the world are asking that. But that's the world we live in. You type in what, and the first search is what is a freak off. That's crazy. Okay. What is let me see what I was gonna say. What was I gonna say? Okay. What are the characteristics of a serpent? I spelled that wrong too. Serpent. Serpent-like man. Let's do that. Right. A serpent-like man is characterized by being cunning, treacherous. The scriptures call this man treacherous and deceptive, often using their intellect to manipulate others or twist truths for their own gain. See? Are they actually going there to help out so-called Christians? So-called black Christians at that. Okay, are they going there to do that? Or is there another ulterior motive? But again, they use these pretexts, or these so-called excuses, to wage war against the whole world. Okay, that's what they've been doing since the beginning. Let me go to the scripture. This is Psalms 55 and 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, right? To the untrained, uninitiated eye. Okay, this sounds like it's benevolent. Okay, this sounds like it's a good thing, right? Why are they, persecuting Christians? Why are they destroying them? Well, there's no evidence of that. Okay, that's actually taking place, and you'll listen to certain particular news coverage that actually tell you that, it's not necessarily so-called Christian genocide, so-called, that the things that are going on in that country, okay, are against all demographics. There's actually war going on. It's not isolated to a particular so-called religion. And wait, hold on. Well, America's not even a Christian nation. Okay, you allow the freedom of religion. You allow witchcraft. So why go after something happened to a particular group when you're supposed to be inclusive for all? But see, we're going to go back to the definition, and what we're reading here, he's talking smooth. These are smooth words like butter. You put butter on the pan to make that surface non-stick, to make it smooth. So that's how he uses his words. Okay, if you wanna deceive somebody, you don't come out and tell them that you're trying to deceive them, right? You want to say the smooth things. You want to get them to let their guard down. Okay, say things to make them feel good on the inside, right? But war was in his heart the whole time. War's in his heart. He's not coming there to save you. He's coming there to destroy you and to oppress you and to take your goods. Okay? To oppress you and your family. Okay? To bring you bring you under his subjection. Because ultimately, what's the end goal of all this? To chip the whole world. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords, right? So he's on one hand, he's talking, we're doing this for peace. All right. But in all actuality, he's coming for war. So I want to get another precept, Daniel, I believe it's 8. Now this is talking about Antiochus, but we can also apply this to what's going on now, because Antiochus, he was a Greek. He was a Edomite. Okay, came out of that wicked root. Okay, after Alexander split his kingdom, he was one of those rulers that became great, and it was a line of them. Okay, but let's read what it speaks about him. It says, and through his policy, which we're seeing the policy of the elite manifest. Okay, also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he has prospered in his craft, in his witchcraft, his enchantments, because these are nothing other than enchantments. Okay, and he's deceived the whole world through his enchantments. But before he did that, what did he do? He came with the force of the sword. And he shall magnify himself in his heart. That's exactly what's going on now. Because the same people that were in rulership back then, okay, are in rulership now. Okay. And by peace shall destroy many. So you see how they actually come to you with peaceable words, words that soothe you, words that, melt your heart and let your guard down and trigger emotions. Okay. But while he's doing that, his actions are really destroying you, taking more rights, taking more liberties. Okay. Oppressing you, taking your goods. Okay. But he uses particular words and he uses so-called excuses. He'll literally fund a particular group to create the chaos, and he'll allow this to happen for years, all in order to play this particular card that he's playing now, is to come into those countries. So he's already have the pretext to do these things. How are all these wars, I forget what individual, all wars are bankers' wars, but why under the Edomite, why is there so much violence? Why is there so much violence in the earth? Okay, because you have the violent man in rulership. Why is there so much suffering? Okay, he shall also stand up against the prince of princes. Okay, but he shall be broken without hand. Yeah, because Esau is not going to be, he's not going to go down by an actual mere mortal, the actual another nation, like the Moabites, or a man that's going to, rise up. He has a hegemony on down here on the earth, the Edomite, the so-called white man. Okay, and he's magnified himself, and he's crossed out the true prince of princes, the king of kings, Yahushua, who the world enemy calls Christ. Okay, and Yahushua is going to come not as a man. All right, because how is Esau going to go down? He's going to go down by the waster, okay, the nuclear missile, and he's going to go down by Yahushua, okay, coming back with the mighty angels. Okay, and that's not going to be a physical thing, or a physical man that's going to do that. It's going to be an extraterrestrial being. It's going to be a man, but he's going to have an angelic body, an indestructible body. So let's read serpent-like man, the characteristics again. This is from the AI overview, if I didn't say that. A serpent-like man is characterized by being cunning, treacherous, and deceptive. And he's deceived the whole world, just as the scripture said, that he will go out into the world to deceive them. Okay, for that short season. But now, through the preaching of the word, okay, through the prophets going out, the Most High putting his words in the prophet's mouth, we see this man go down, and we also see his power being questioned. This is why he has to make these dramatic moves, right? Trump said he's going to stop all wars. So why all of a sudden, he's starting wars? Wouldn't he first go and do the diplomatic route? Wouldn't he go to the UN and bring this up to the UN, right? The United Nations, would he not bring some type of resolution to the United Nations to, come diplomatically or try to figure out how to stop these things? Why is he coming with force? Why is there rumor of invasion of Nigeria? Why Nigeria? Under the pretext of Christians. And you're going to destroy all the so-called Islamists. Which, how are you going to identify so-called Islamists, to so-called Christians? They're literally they're the same people. So what is the real reason? Okay. Well, first of all, they're the Israelites. Okay. And then another thing, they don't want China and Russia to have influence over Africa. All right. And they want those natural resources. Okay. This is the same thing all over again. Rome 2.0, spreading itself too thin, often using their intellect to manipulate others or twist truths for their own gain, as seen in both religious and fictional contexts. This can involve subtly questioning authority, introducing doubt. That's what the serpent did with Eve. Did the Lord surely say you would die? Okay. And ultimately leading to a harmful or rebellious action, right? Because this is all going to lead to destruction. Just like he a few years back, right? Y'all remember when he told y'all to take them jump shots. Okay. And he used all type of deceptive, tactics to get you to do it. And you went ahead and you did it. But now it's coming out that a lot of people, first of all, they're not here with us. All right. They went to the spirit world suddenly, right? Remember that so-called D to the suddenly? Okay. Unalive suddenly. They don't even speak about that no more. There's still people that are just, going back to the spiritual world, that are having issues within the blood, having issues in their heart, having issues, clotting, right? But they suppress that. You see, they can suppress any information. Just like the so-called Epstein thing. Okay. They don't even talk about it no more. They're the ones that allow things to be talked about or not to be talked about. But regardless of Esau and his deceptive tactics and his control on media, the truth is still coming out. He's still being exposed. He's still going down. He can't run from this. In some interpretations, they possess physical or supernatural trait. Yeah, because he tapped into the supernatural on the left-hand side. And this is how, see, he understands the occult. He understands the dark magics, the dark arts. He's an expert in it. And he uses that to put you people under a spell. Okay? And this is how his witchcraft is able to work. Okay, just like somebody you put under hypnosis. They have to agree to, go under hypnosis or it won't work. And once they agree and they believe in it and it actually works. So you people, you believe in this system. You believe that your government officials, your presidents, that everything they say is they tell you the truth. Everything that they do, they're doing for you, the people. When in the meantime, these are the most wickedest people on the planet Earth that do the most evil things on the earth. But he's portraying himself as somebody that's benevolent. He's portraying himself as somebody of the righteous, such as the ability to shapeshift or have hypnotic gazes. That's some other shit. Deceit and temptation. Okay. Let's play a little bit more of this video.
For what he says is the persecution and killing of Christians. In a post on Truth Social, the president said he has ordered the Pentagon to begin planning for a possible military action.
The Pentagon? What? Hold on. Why wouldn't you go the diplomatic route? Why wouldn't you go to and talk to the president of Nigeria? Why wouldn't you try to help in different type of actions? Why is the first action preparing for war? Why is that? Because this is the man of sin. Okay? And how can you people not see this? Let's look at some comments. Let's see. And one thing I don't like about this channel is a bunch of fucking fake Christians. Okay? All right. Why are we giving Nigeria anywhere near $550 million? We need 500. Yeah, because meanwhile, America sends aid to Nigeria, and this is how they're able to influence, Nigeria. They pretty much pay them off, and they send them weapons too. They don't care about Christians. They care about rare earth minerals. So people know that it's about, it's about the resources. This is what New York voted for. You want to see your future New York, look at Nigeria. Which, see, these Edomites, they're just completely out of reality. Because why is Nigeria in the situation that it's in? Because America puts Nigeria in a situation. Those European nations, they own the resources in that land. They actively suppress our people. They will not allow our people to, build the infrastructure to compete on the world stage. They always suppress. And anytime that our people start to do better without their assistance, what do? They wage war. The reason why Nigeria is so-called third world country is because the Edomite, the so-called white man, he actively oppresses and suppresses us covertly. He doesn't do it out in the open. But when you go into it, you go into all the history, who owns all the oil, who owns all the resources, who does not allow Nigeria to build particular infrastructure. Okay? They don't allow, they literally keep them out of the system. You can only go so far, and they pay off particular individuals to make sure the rest of the slaves are in line. Okay, there's a lot of people that are just completely just out of tune with the reality, and this is how isn't this AI? See, and this is how they're able to deceive you. Let all Christians pray. Okay, which these Edomites down in America, they deem themselves God-fearing, which we know that's fake, phony. All right. But then on the same hand, they're the most racist people on the planet Earth. It's literally wild. And you know what? To hell with all you nations. All you nations are getting ready to go down. Okay? You all getting ready to be under the feet of Yahushua and the rest of the elect.
Trump warned he will also, quote, immediately stop all aid and assistance to Nigeria. Nigeria's president says his country is not religiously intolerant.
He posted in part, quote, the USA will immediately stop all aid and assistance to Nigeria and may very well go into that now disgraced country, guns ablazing.
So now it's a disgraced country. Guns are blazing. Here it is. You've been given aid for how many years? But this is what they do. Just like they did with they're doing with the EBT. They give you they give you this aid. They make it seem like they're for they're for you, okay, and they really care about you, and they allow you to live a pretty cool life, okay, for a time being. Then they'll snatch it away and call you a disgrace, call you an animal, call you a savage, and then now they have enough ammo, okay, as they demonize you in their media, make you the villain, to come in and destroy you. So again, like we are going to the characteristics of the serpent. He's very subtle. He's very treacherous. He uses serpent-like tactics, all right, to come and devour his enemy. Okay, and the devil, he's at work. He's at it again.
Blazing to completely wipe out
he's on the attack.
The Islamic terrorists who are committing these horrible atrocities.
President Trump fighting against religious persecution around the world, ordering the Department of War to prepare for potential military action on the ground in Nigeria, and threatening to cut off aid to the African country if they don't do more to protect Christians from jihadists, as the State Department redesignates Nigeria as a, quote, country of particular concern. This designation was removed in the Biden administration. Watch.
If the Nigerian government continues to allow the killing of Christians, the United States...
And you see how they have Trump came in with the White House press secretary. They always use a woman, okay, to give you to give you the information of what's going on, to speak very tough words, but it's coming from a woman, so it like downplays it. Caroline Levitt, what do you think she is? Who do you think she go back to?
Will immediately stop all aid and assistance to Nigeria and may take action to wipe out the Islamic terrorists.
Wipe out? How do you do that? How do you wipe out the Islamic terrorism? How do you do that? Right?
Committing these horrible atrocities, especially against innocent women and children. I don't have any further announcements.
You can't even control the crimes in your own country. Okay, Esau is waging war against the whole world, in particular you tribes.
Not for you today, but I can assure you the President of the United States is watching this situation unfold very closely, as is our Secretary of State, Marco Rubio.
So more than 7,000...
And who does Marco Rubio go back to? The Secretary of State. They say that's the number 2 most powerful in the United States government. Marco Rubio. Who do you think? Come on, man. You already know. The devil is at work. The serpent is at work.
Christians have been killed this year. 19,000 churches have been targeted or destroyed since 2009, and over 125...
Where was Esau at when, where was these organizations at when, hundreds of millions of our people were being destroyed, were being murdered? So all of a sudden, he's just going to get away with that, right? Come on, man.
5,000 Christians have been killed in the same period, according to the International Society for Civil Liberties and the Rule of Law, who keep track of these killings, even though they so largely go under the radar of news coverage, threatening potential...
Yeah, okay. So you see. Let's play that back.
In the same period, according to the International Society for Civil Liberties and the Rule of Law, who keep track of these killings, even though they so largely go under the radar of news coverage.
Okay, they go under the radar of news coverage. Why the hell y'all haven't been covering it then? Right, you're the great Fox News or mainstream media here in the United States. You know everything, right? So why all of a sudden why are you covering it now? Why are all your major media platforms covering this particular issue now? Why? So this man, don't trust this damn devil. Did we finish this scripture? Let's read it again. All right. Let's read verse 20. It says, he has put forth, this is Psalms 55:20. He has put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. Ain't nobody messing with him. Ain't nobody messing with Esau. Everybody leaving Esau alone. They don't want that smoke. But he just can't help himself, man. He has broken his covenant. Here it is. He goes into peace deals with individuals and he breaks every last one of them. This is why these nations, they're going to shoot missiles on you. They're going to deceive you. The scriptures tell you that those that eat thy bread have deceived thee and laid a wound under thee in Obadiah. Because he gives aid to the whole world. But that's to, influence, to influence your population, your civilization. All right. To give them that wine, to get them drunken. All right. To get them, how does the scripture say, naked. So when it's time to roll on them, you can roll on with a very little resistance. Okay, just like you got the story of Simeon and Levi with their sister, was it Dinah, and they pretty much the one of them Canaanites took her and wanted to marry her. And they were like, okay, cool. Well, you know what? In order for us to give you our sister, you got to get circumcised. And they were like, oh, and everybody got to be circumcised. And they did it. And while all the men were sore, they came in and they slew him. So you want to get the enemy. Why fight the enemy at full strength? So this is why his tactics are going to work. He's scared everybody to get in that jump shot. He's gonna scare everybody and deceive everybody into getting that MOTB. But you have to weaken. You have to weaken the civilizations. You weaken them with adult entertainment, all these nasty videos of women's liberation. You break up the family. You poison them with foods. You get them addicted to food. You get them addicted to drugs, or you get them addicted to to money. Okay. You make them just complete degenerates, and then you roll on their ass. So that's what he's doing. You keep them in poverty. Okay. You continue to mess up their mind. Right? Because he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man. His philosophy. The words of his mouth. You set up leaders over the people that sold out to you. And you can replace them anytime you need. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. Let me get the one in Sirach. Right? The same story over and over again. Esau being the devil that he is. He's not going to stop. It's within him. Never, Sirach 12:10, or Ecclesiasticus in Apocrypha 12:10. Never trust thy enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wicked. And these American people are the stupidest people on the planet Earth. They're the stupidest, most idiotic, the most ignorant people on the planet Earth. Okay? They're so caught up. But it was all by design. It was all by design to weaken their minds, to weaken their bodies, to deflect their attention, okay, from the serious matters, what you're actually doing, and give them things to suppress their feelings, okay? Give them bread and circuses. Give them pleasures, okay? Give them comfort, okay? So you can go around the world, being a goddamn demon, and nobody really resists you. Because the things that are happening here in America, you would think that there will be more protests. There will be more people coming up against the government. Okay? The people Esau doesn't even teach you the laws. Okay? He doesn't even teach you the Constitution. He doesn't teach you your rights. He doesn't teach you how to, deal with the police. He doesn't teach you how, to deal with businesses, the laws of the land, so to speak. He doesn't teach you, the Bill of Rights, your constitutional rights, how to behave yourself. He basically said you could be lawless. Never trust thy enemy, for as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Like if you have a cast iron skillet, right? You season the skillet, right? You make sure you oil the skillet, and it looks shiny and it looks new, okay? But once that oil dries up or it gets washed off, okay, what starts to happen? You use that cast iron. What starts to happen? It starts to rust, because that is the nature of iron. It will oxidize. There's nothing you can do about it. You have to keep it seasoned. You have to keep it oiled for it not to rust. But no matter what, it's going to dry up, and eventually it's going to rust, because that is his nature. So the serpent, you can play with the serpent, okay, and it might not bite you. You can charm it, and it might not bite you. You can sleep with it, and it might not bite you. But one day, that motherfucker gonna bite you. Why? Because it's a serpent. That's what it does. Though he humble himself and go crouching, okay, because he's trying to get in your good graces, and he's gonna say all the right things. Yet take good heed and beware of him. So it don't matter what Esau said. It don't matter how he comes. It don't matter if he gives you little goodies. He gives you a fucking stimulus check. He brings back the EBT. Okay? He gives you a tax write-off. All right? He tells you everything's going to be okay. Right? nah, this nigga, what's this nigga about to do? He gonna do something wicked. Okay? That it's just in him to be evil. It's in him to be wicked. He's fulfilling his lot. He cannot go outside of what the Most High created him to do. Like a serpent can't be a dog. Okay? A serpent can't go fetch. Okay? It's a serpent. That's what it does. It doesn't know anything else. So Esau is just doing what the Most High created him to do. And we have, through the spirit of Yahweh Shemashai, the Lord has given us insight to identify who the serpent is and to watch him. Okay? And regardless of what this motherfucker says, he's still the devil. He's still going down. He's still going to slavery. And he's not for our people. He's against us. Okay? To destroy us. And it's obvious. But again, Esau has a lot of our people under a spell. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass with like a mirror, and thou shalt know that his rust has not altogether been wiped away. Yeah, because he'll give you aid. Look at he fed the black woman. He allowed you in California. Okay, I'm not sure if it's all California, but I'm pretty sure. But I know in the Bay Area with EBT, you can go to fucking Burger King. You can go to McDonald's. You can go to Popeyes. You can go pretty much anywhere and get actual fast food from the EBT. You can swipe it like a credit card. You can get them Big Macs and get them McChickens and Whoppers, and you get all the chicken sandwiches from Popeyes you want. All the shit that's killing you. All the shit that's giving you high blood pressure. All the shit that's giving you high cholesterol. All the shit that's fucking with your heart. All the shit that's not allowing you to sleep. All the shit that's got you your aching joints. Okay, and then Esau gives you nothing but hella prescriptions that fuck you up even more. Okay, and then you don't have any knowledge of the herbs. You don't know how to use them. Okay, first of all, you're not even praying to the correct God. You're still living in a life of sin. You say, well, your pastor tell you, your spiritual leader tell you that the Bible, the law is done away with. Or you worshiping Islam, right? So Jake is done. Set him not by thee, least when he has overthrown thee. You got Jake going to the poll. They just went to the polls to vote. You know, he stand up in thy place. Never let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And that's all. That's what he's about. And thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith. And you're gonna have a lot of Jake that's gonna be pricked with the words of Yahweh Shemashai. And certain of these Jakes, they know, they like, it's in their spirit, like, man, this nigga ain't right. But they're so caught up, they're so far deep. Okay? They're so far deep in, you know, the enchantment that they can't get out of it. There's no other choice. They don't have a savior. They don't have a God that they can call on to help them. Okay? Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent? So all you niggas that's coming against the Hebrew Israelites, it's like a influx of these niggas, man. It's like, where do these niggas come from? All of a sudden, here it is. The devil is showing you that he's the devil more and more. Okay, your life is getting worse. Okay, your standard of living is getting worse. All right, all these things are getting worse, and you're scoffing at the truth even more, which just shows you that the Lord, you know, he got these people blinded. Or any such as come nigh wild. Let me read that again, verse 30. Who will pity a charmer that has been with a serpent, or any such as come nigh wild beasts? Yeah, and nobody's gonna pity you, Jakes. All you Jakes coming against the truth. Nobody's gonna pity you when he turns his back on you. And that's what he's doing. He's doing with them Latin tribes. Okay? He's doing what Nigeria, the president of Nigeria said, we'll let you in. We're cooperating. Why are you doing this? He didn't say it in like that. But he's like, nah, it's good. Like, we're trying to play. We're playing ball, and Esau still don't give a shit. He literally called your country deplorable. Okay, or what word did he use? A cesspool. He used something like that. Okay, a shithole. He called Mexico a shithole. Okay, that's how the Edomite looks at you. But you still have some of our people, a lot of our people. Well, he can make it too. He can make it too. Oh well, he doesn't think the feeling is not mutual. Okay, so one that goeth to a sinner and is defiled with him in his sins, who will pity? See, who's gonna pity you? Who's gonna pity you, Jake? For a while he will abide with thee. See? But if thou begin to fall, he will not tarry. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips. See? But here it is. We tell you straight up. All right, out of love, all right, out of truth, and you get mad. That's why the scripture says, speak unto me smooth things, prophesy unto me deceits. That's what Jake want to hear. Jake want to hear deceit. How do you get a woman? You lie to her. You tell her what she want to hear. She doesn't want to hear the truth. Okay? Tell her you're an astronaut. Okay? Tell her you are you lie to women. All right? She finds out eventually, but you already got what you needed, right? That's how Esau's treating you. He lied to you. All right, and once you find out, it's too late. He already got what he wanted. You're going to be chipped, and then you're going to get dipped, okay, in that fire. But in his heart, he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit, see? So when he gave you, Jake, those goodies, okay, when he, created these programs to help you out and do this and do that, it was all set up to throw your ass in a pit, to trap your ass up. He will weep with his eyes. He'll look like he's crying, and the nigga, he's an actor, he's a hypocrite, so he can put it on. But if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. See, if adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. And though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee. He will shake his head and clap his hands and whisper much and change his countenance. So here it is, you Jakes, you suffering and getting ready to suffer more. And what is the Edomite doing? You people are just animals. Okay. You're godless. Look at you on EBT. Look at you, you're grapists. You're thieves. And the whole time he set the stumbling block in front of you. Let's play a little bit more. We're going to close it.
Threatening potential military action against the biggest country on the continent. And then Sunday, really taking even more of a turn because the president apparently got a question from a reporter and reiterated that same rhetoric, asking whether or not it would be airstrikes or ground troops. And he said it could be, I envisage a lot of things. And as you can see there, that is part of what he was saying over the weekend.
That's all the Edomite know is war.
You can imagine this has caused quite a bit of concern, swift responses, including from that President Bola Tinubu, as you were just mentioning there. He actually put quite a lengthy post on X over the weekend that reads in part, the characterization of Nigeria as religiously intolerant.
And with that Zaba Saja, where is that from? Some part of Africa? Oh, could she be? This is from Johannesburg, so she's South African. Well, she's probably a Jake. A lot of Jakes are, there's a lot of Jakes down there in South Africa. You look into the Bantu migration. Okay, the Bantus, which are Jake, they went all the way down into South Africa, and you had slave port down there in South Africa.
Not reflect our national reality, nor does it take into consideration the consistent and sincere efforts of the government to safeguard freedom of religion and beliefs for all Nigerians. Now, I think it's important we give a bit of context here because, yes, the country has been dealing with quite a bit of violence and Islamic insurgency in the north from Boko Haram and also from another group known as the Islamic State.
So, there you go. You can watch this video more. All right. The serpent is at work. He's not stopping. He's coming against the tribes. Okay, we're in Jacob's trouble. All right, I pray that the lesson was edifying. Until next time, shalom to the elect.